Tonight, those two separate incidents are part of our biggest stories today related to domestic violence. And boy, the details are horrific. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. In Seminole County, investigators are trying to figure out what led up to a brutal homicide in a home in Chuliota. And the second scene is in Brevard County, where a suspect was killed in an officer-involved shooting. Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb is joining us live from that scene in Seminole County. And Ashlyn, you spoke to a neighbor who says she is very much shocked by all of this.
Yes, several neighbors here are in shock. Often you would see this couple walking throughout the neighborhood up until last month with their dog and then also saying hi to folks. But neighbors say they never suspected that there was domestic violence happening within this home. Law enforcement say there was a history of it throughout the couple's 18-year relationship.
I'm very sad for the family. I'm sad for the teenage boy that they left behind because he lost his mom and his dad.
This Chuliota neighborhood in shock after a couple well known in the community, now both dead, leaving behind a 16-year-old son.
They found Kristen Stevens on the floor of the bedroom, deceased, appeared to be stabbed multiple times, up to, I mean, it was a horrific scene, probably up to 20, 30, up to 70 times stabbed what appeared to be a kitchen knife.
Sheriff Dennis Lima says just after midnight, 42-year-old James Christopher Lindsay broke into his former home with a hammer and then attacked his ex-girlfriend, the mother of his child, 40-year-old Kristen Stevens. Stevens was sleeping in the master bedroom with a man she had recently met on a dating app.
He awoke in the bed with the victim to another male on top of her, stabbing her what appeared to be a knife. While he was kicking the perpetrator off, was stabbed in the upper portion of the leg.
Lima says that man then ran to a neighboring house to get help, and investigators say Lindsay then fled in his vehicle. We now know that Lindsay, the suspect, died in this single car crash not far from the scene. FHP says he was speeding and ran off of Fort Christmas Road, hitting a stop sign and overturning. He was ejected from the car. This is not the first time law enforcement has investigated domestic violence between the couple. Lima says there was at least 3 different times. One of those, he says, Kristen Stevens was arrested, but 2 of those times, Lindsay was charged, he says. The most recent was November 6th.
That suggested that he was incredibly jealous, that he would work with his friends to monitor her whereabouts and behavior.
According to court records, Stevens said Lindsay kicked her off the bed while she was sleeping and, quote, when she was trying to walk out of the room, he pushed her out of the room and her face hit the door, leaving a small bruise on her left eye. Lindsay was arrested and was set to be in court at 9 a.m. Friday to be arraigned. This just hours before Stevens was fatally stabbed. Now, the sheriff's office and state attorney's office, both, according to Lima, wanted bond set high for Lindsay and for him to be required to wear an ankle monitor. This was all related to the battery charge from a month ago. However, Lima says Judge Wayne Culver denied the request for Lindsay to wear an ankle monitor and only set bond at just $1,000. And Greg, Martha, we have learned in just the last 30 minutes that Judge Wayne Culver was suspended by the Florida Supreme Court within the last 5 days. That was because he was accused of losing his temper in 2 separate court proceedings back in 2022. We have reached out to Culver for comment. I left a voicemail for him just minutes ago asking why the bond was set at just $1,000 and also why Lindsay was not required to wear an ankle monitor. These are big questions right now. Reporting in Seminole County, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right.